Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be working on episode 2 of The Pond. Now, for those of you who don't know, in the last video, we actually escaped a storage container. This one right here is a pond. And what led to this was me wanting to actually just soak the wood that is actually in here, to soak it in preparation for another escape that I'm actually planning for. That was actually one of the major reasons. And the other reason was, while I was actually Alright, so the other reason that caused us to actually make this into a pond was while I was soaking the wood, I decided to do a 50% water change on my main tank, which is that one right there. That's 30-liter tank right there. That was the other reason that actually caused us to actually make this into a pond. So what happened when I did a 90% water change, I accidentally captured two baby guppies, and when I poured the water into this, right, I actually noticed later on that they were actually, something small was actually swimming in there. So I actually realized that was actually the guppies. So that was the other reason as well. So now, in the second episode, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be filling this up with water, and I think we're going to be doing some few tweaks to it, removing some few things that I didn't like after some few days. Once you do something and then you leave it for a few days and then you come back to it, you get a new perspective towards it. I guess that's what actually happened to me right here with this thing, because the last time we escaped this thing was last week Thursday, and today is it's actually been a full week actually since we escaped this thing. So I'm actually excited to get cracking on filling this up with water, and I got another surprise that we're going to be doing today as well. So stick around and find out what it is that we're going to be doing as well. So I mentioned that we did we escaped, right? So this is actually the hardscape right there. As you can see, we did. It actually looks really freaking great. I mean, just look at that. You can see that, right? I'm not the only one seeing this. It actually looks amazing. What I was actually planning on doing was removing a couple of those sticks, just for the sake of removing, and I felt like this was actually a bit too much. And remember, we said this rock is just there to hold the wood in place so it doesn't float. So once we fill it up with water and the wood doesn't float, we're gonna end up removing this, and then it's just gonna be amazing. And I know there's a crack right there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. There's a crack right there. Let's see, yeah, right there. You see? So it ends there. So that means that will be the water level will probably end around somewhere here. And yeah, this is gonna be an exciting episode, and I can't wait to dive right into it. So let's just get started. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do I think 50% on 50-60. I'm thinking of doing a 90% water change again. Not entirely sure. We'll see. But basically what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna do a water change. And once we do a water change, the water that we're gonna take out from here, we're gonna put it into the storage container, into the pond. And that will basically just get us started as well, just to keep the fry that I'm gonna be putting in there. I have like 23 fries in here. So for those of you who watched the video of the storage container, right? If you didn't watch the video, I really highly recommend you actually do. You realize that I escaped this for the sole purpose of actually making this into a I don't know, a container for the a container for the guppies and mollies to actually give birth in, so that I won't have to like hustle, or I won't worry about the other fish in there actually eating the fry. So I ended up putting one female that was in there, and I found at that same time there were actually 2 fries that were in the main tank. So I ended up taking the 2 fries and putting them in there, and then after a few days the female guppy that was in there actually gave birth to like 7, no, not 7, I mean 5 babies, right? And then so in total they ended up being 7. And then there were actually a couple of them that were in here, which ended up you know, to make it 23. I don't know, you do the calculations, 23 minus 7, then you find the other rest that I actually caught from the main tank. So we have no baby fries in there, they are all caught up in here, and I'm still in the process of just keeping an eye on the guppies and the mollies that are pregnant, so that once they look like they're about to pop, put them in here. And yeah, so we're gonna be doing water change in this one and in this one, and putting the water in there. So let's get started. Alright, so we got our 2 containers. In case this one gets full, then we'll use this one. So music time, baby. You know, we actually got another baby fry right there, so I'm gonna try and catch it, and that will make 24. This one is full, so time to fill up into this one, and I think that's enough for that one. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna empty that one. I mean, do a water change from the. Let's see. We're gonna do a water change in that one right there. Some of the plants actually pulled out, so I'm just gonna replant them afterwards, because if I plant them now they just keep getting in the way. And we have a snail. We've got a snail right here. Put it back. Continue. Yeah, so I actually think that's good enough for both the main tank and the the biscuit container. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna fill up this before we go to this before we go to the pond. So fill up time. I mean, this one's gonna be very easy to fill up, so I'm just gonna carry it, go straight to the kitchen. And you know, for those who have watched this video, you know about the e-spring, which, you know what, let me just show you again in case you don't know. Alright, so what we have here is basically what you would call a water purifier. And this machine right here is what we call an e-spring. So an e-spring, this e-spring uses a UV light to actually clean your water, and it removes all the dirt, it removes all the chlorine, it removes all the things that are unnecessary in the water, and makes the water perfect basically. And it filters up to 5,000 liters of water. So if you want to get one for yourself, for your fish tank, you can actually do so. So please, I will leave you know what, I will leave my how can you reach me? I will leave my phone number and an email address, so that if you're interested in knowing more about this, so you can reach me, and I'll be glad to actually share more information about this. So no need to worry when we're actually putting water, when you see me filling up the biscuit container with water straight from the tap. So basically how it works is you open up the tap, right? You open up the tap, and basically this is your chlorinated water. But if you want the dechlorinated water, all you have to do is just pull this thing right there, and once you have pulled that thing, then you can now fill up into the biscuit container or drink. Simple, right? And just like that, the biscuit container is filled. And now onto the next part, which is basically the main tank. So which will probably take me some time, so let's get to it. So before I fill up the main tank, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do cleaning of the just cleaning of the glass. And yeah, so what I use to scrape my glass is I use a knife. I don't have a razor to do it, or whatever it is that you guys use, or those fancy products. So I just use what I have, a broken knife. So and just like that, boom, we are done with cleaning of the tank, removing all the extra minerals or whatever it is that you call it that sticks in the glass, and filling it up as well. So wow. So now that we're done with doing the water change, cleaning the tank, and what else? I think those are the main two things that we've done so far. So what we're gonna do now is, I'm gonna just let you in on what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on making a filter for the pond. So what I'm gonna do is, what I have here is an old sponge basically, and I intend to just boil it just to get rid of any unwanted bacteria that are there, or whatever unwanted things. Let me not say bacteria, just unwanted things. So I'm just gonna boil that, and while that one is boiling, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that water, we're gonna fill up the pond right now. So let's head to the pond and start filling it up with the water from the main tank. With the water from the main tank right there. So we did a water change. As you can see, it's looking clear, it's looking beautiful. I'm actually really loving how it's looking right now. The fish seem to be happy and swimming around. So there's the water right there that we're going to be using. So we're going to pour that water straight into the pond, which is right there. And that spot right there is the perfect place for where I'm going to be keeping this pond, and for where the 1,000 guppies and 1,000 mollies project is going to take place. So let's get started. All right, so now that we're at the pond and we have the water that we're first gonna put in. So the reason why I'm gonna put in the water from the main tank is just so I can put the baby fry straight away right into here without having to worry about keeping a tank just for bacteria, so that bacteria build up and like all that. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons. That's just one of the reasons as well. On top of that, I also just don't want to waste water, and also just walking around watering the plants without water. It's just a lot of work. So we're gonna do that, and I'm actually kind of confident enough to take water from the main tank is because I actually did a water change last week. So that'll be the second water change for the month in the main tank. I usually do like around 2 water changes a month. So yeah, I'm excited to fill this up and see how it goes. And I actually didn't remove the sticks that I was talking about, so that I decided, let me see how it looks with water in it, and then if it still isn't to my liking, then I can actually just, then I can actually just remove the small little sticks, and so let me fill it up with water and see how it goes, I guess. So the water that I had put in the water that I'd used for the water change water is finished. So what we're gonna do now is just fill up with East Spring water, and then after that, then we start working on the filter, and we put in the babies and see how it goes. I'm really excited. I just can't contain myself. This is an exciting project that I'm really wanting to work on. I've been wanting to get like a bigger tank, but the funds for that just wasn't on my side. So what I decided to do was use this, and on top of breeding instead of keeping the babies in here, I want this to be like a grow out pond as well. So let's continue with the fill up. I mean, we're almost there. So you see, there's like the crack that I talked about. It ends like somewhere there. So we're gonna have to fill it like up to that line over here. So that's where we're gonna fill it up to. So we still got a couple of liters to go. Just like we expected, the wood is floating. It's floating, literally floating, like it won't sit. So I'll have to go get another rock just to place on top of, you see that, like just to place on top of this. It's a good thing we have this one lost into that one, because like we're just gonna float. So we got a rock right there, just gonna place it on top of this one. Just, I think he'll do. Okay, there. I thought this one was gonna be like sitting on it, but it seems not to be. I think it seems we needed like a bigger one, because this is just not working. We need a bigger rock, so we need a bigger one. You know what? We're actually done. We're actually good. It's not floating anymore. Just need to be lost in the right place. So I think we're just gonna keep these rocks there for maybe a day or two, or maybe a few hours. Maybe the air inside the wood will finally come out, and then this cape can look the way it was meant to. So let's continue filling. guys see that? The way it just floated up like. I need to get another rock. Oh, here we go. So here we have a bigger rock, because it's just floating like crazy. I think we can put that on there. It will suffice. Alright, put this one there. Yo, that's some scary stuff. Scary stuff. Anyways, let's continue. The wood is floating. 2 rocks on that one. 2 rocks on that one. I'm surprised that just this one alone was not enough to hold that wood. So I ended up putting another one there just to be on top of it, just to like push it to sit down. And then the rest of these, yeah, are definitely floating. They'll probably, you know, sink later, like maybe in a few hours or few minutes. And then yeah, so on to the next thing. So what I want to do now is just to catch all this debris and get it out, and then we go to the filter. So while I do this, I'll see you guys at the station where we're going to be working on the filter, just like that. All right, so this is everything that we need to actually make the filter. Before that, this I think has boiled quite enough, so we're gonna take it off the stove, pour out that water, right, and you know, just cool it. I'm gonna put Eastspring water because we're gonna be putting it in the So we fill that with water. We're just gonna leave it right there. This was the old filter that I was using in the main tank. So I'm gonna be making like a bigger one, putting more. What's the thing? Sponge. Putting more sponge in it. I'm gonna be using the sponges in here, so I'm just gonna keep them wet. So I'm gonna be taking this and putting it in there. I'm going to be using this pipe, and so you can actually just do that, and then you have an air stone, then you also have a pump, right? So we have an air stone, we have cotton that I'll be putting, cotton with a lot of bacteria in it, and pebbles. I'm just gonna get more pebbles to put in there as well for bacteria buildup. Just gonna clean those and just put them back in there. Come on. Alright, clean the pebbles and just put it in there. So I think I'll just put the air stone in there as well. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just remove the plastic cover, and I don't know how it's going to work, but let's see what we can do. Use the sharper scissors. Alright, there we go. This is basically something that you can also do at home. So I'm just gonna wash to remove the rest of the mayonnaise in it and make sure there's no mayonnaise left in it. So back shortly. Alright, so that is clean. I think I'm just gonna clean that as well, but wait. Let's see. is usually just there we go. So you can actually remove this thing. Just gonna remove it. Really stuck. They really put real. Wow. Yeah, that was some strong glue. Whoa. Wow. So like they really put like glue, like, you know, heavy duty glue on that thing, and I don't want any glue going in the water. So I managed to remove the glue, but without, I had to leave some scratches on it. So I'm just gonna wash it, and then yeah, get started. So the other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to heat this and then just make holes so that the water can be able to pass through. So I mean, yeah, just basically make holes so the water can be like sucking through there. Just going, and then basically like creating kind of circulation. So yeah, let's heat this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this entire part, just to remove this part. So I'm just going to cut that off and then try and, you know, shape. I don't know how we're going to try and make this fit in nicely, you know, because you're going to do something, at least do it right, if you get what I'm saying. So there, now we have like a clean, sort of clean sponge, right? So that's what we're gonna use. So this is basically, I want this to basically just go in there. So I think cutting it half, cutting it half like that. We can cut it halfway, then we put it in. So the other one can be that one side, and the other one can come so then we have like something like this. So it will be sitting, so you'll be sitting like that. So at the bottom here we have the pebbles that I'll put for bacteria buildup. Then we have this the sponges, and then we're gonna have cotton just to fill it up, and then the ash stone basically. So still waiting for that. All right, so now it's time to set everything up. Basically it's time to put everything together so that we can connect this to the pond and put the fry in, which is basically the baby guppies, and then yeah, call it a video, I guess. So we've been waiting for this to actually warm up, so we could actually, you know, just make holes so it can come close to you. So let's basically just do that. So just, okay, a bit of pressure. Seems it wasn't hard enough. it wasn't hot enough, so we're gonna put that back on the stove so that it just heats up again. While it's heating up, because that's the main thing of building or constructing the filter, we are just gonna. Alright, so the screwdriver is hot, and it's time to work on the filter. So let's make some holes. 1, 2. Alright, so we made 2 rows around there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a hole right there. Alright. The purpose of the hole in this thing is so we can put a pipe through it, where the air bubbles from the pump and the air stone are actually gonna be passing through. So we're just gonna do this until the hole is big enough to fit the. So we're just gonna go round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And then round and round and round. Almost there, almost there, almost there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this back on the stove and then just let it heat for a while. So I actually put everything inside this bucket, which has the water from the biscuit container, so that bacteria can just build up. And on top of that, I actually cleaned the filter from that's in the main tank. So we have like more bacteria growing in there. So once we put in the filter, I think it's gonna be good. So yeah. Yeah, I think we're almost there. So just a few more, then good to go. Let's continue. Good. Voila. I also just want to make some small holes. Just like along, just to Alright, so now we have made this. Alright, so now that we have the holes made on both fronts, switch off the stove, and then the pebbles, just pick them up, put them in. This water smells terrible. So now it's just picking more pebbles from the pile and then adding in here. So there you have it. So there's the pebbles that are going to be acting as they're basically just holding in bacteria, right? But the video I watched when I first made my first filter was, I think the only reason they put stones in was because they didn't want the bottle just to float. So that's just my thoughts. But yeah, honestly, just to build up also bacteria. I'm not going to be cutting it this time because I feel like that is absolutely useless. You can get the sponges out just like that, and yeah. So let's continue filling in the the sponges now, and then connecting it up and placing it inside the pond. I just remembered we still have one more hole we need to make, so I'm just gonna put this on the stove just to heat it up while I put in the sponges, so I know exactly the perfect spot to put in what's it called again? The air stove. So there you have it, and to be honest, this does not look great at all. So I'm just gonna add maybe I think that's it. So this is just sponges, and then later on I'm just gonna add a bit of cotton just to get it to be like crystallized, to crystallize it a bit. But there you have it. Let's close it up like that, and then the hole I think will just be right there, just somewhere right there, just close to the top, somewhere close to the top, right there, right there. So once we do that, you just place I think we just need to make the hole a bit bigger. I'm not sure. Oh, fits perfectly from outside. Let's see. Okay, yeah. And there you have it. Boom. But I was also thinking, you don't necessarily need to put it there. You can always use one of these holes, stick it like that. Stick it like that, and then you close, and that way it makes cleaning actually easier. So yeah, this is actually pretty nice, legit, smart. Put that out of it. Yeah, it's amazing. I have 2 of these. I think there were 3, but I'm just not sure where the other one went to. So then you put this, that part goes to you connect it to the pump, like that. And then this part goes right there. So, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your filter, boom. And then cleaning, simple as removing, taking out, rinsing, putting it back, and then you go on and go on and go on. So now, let us go and connect this to the pond. So this is what we've done, right? So there's a hole here, there's there's a hole right there, so we put the hole through, we put it through there, and then it comes down right there, so you can put it in there just like that. I'm gonna have to move the pond back a bit, put it back in the center, and yeah. But later on in the future, I'm gonna have to work on this because this is not that strong as well. So yeah, but so far so great. Where I really want to put this is behind this wood, so I'm gonna have to lift this, you know, and hope. And these things are still floating, so if they're still floating, the big ones are definitely still gonna be floating, floating. You can see the water is getting a bit tinted, like blackish water. So we connected, but we'll have to put this in the water first before we connect the pipe to the, yeah, so let's do that. All right, there you have it. I ended up removing this rock from on top here because I needed to put that there. So the rock ended up floating a bit, so I had to place this like completely on top of this wood. And I don't know how. I think the way to see how this is gonna, to see if they're gonna not float anymore, is to use this. When these finally sink, then we'll know that we're close. When these finally sink, then we'll know that we're close to removing these rocks from the wood and placing the sticks where they were supposed to be. Yeah, so let's connect this. All right. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redo the lid. But do it the same way as that. So yeah, I'll see you guys after I've redone the lid. I was not too confident that this one was working, so what I did was I just made the hole for the pipe, and for the air stone. So it's basically this, and this is basically where the air will be coming out, which will also kind of create like a lot of pressure as well. What I did was I made a lot of holes, which reduced the amount of air circulation, like the amount of the water, like yeah, it was giving air, but it wasn't giving like it wasn't creating enough momentum in the water, basically, for water circulation to happen. You know, I feel so smart when I talk like that, you know. So we're gonna put that back and put it in. So that's also not working. So all right. All right, so after 1, 2, 3 tries and a little bit of struggle, we finally did it. There's the filter. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Guys, you have no idea how long that took. It's actually 1 a.m. right now, and I'm finally done with the filter. A little bit of mess which I'll have to clean up before I can call it a night. So I have to say, this was an amazing project, and I'm actually proud to have done. Of course, it wasn't perfect. Despite the trial and error and experiments. Like I said, the things that I do are basically just experiments that I do, and not all of them work, as you can see. There's the proof there, but I'm glad. So now let's put in the fish. The temperature is the same, the pH water is definitely the same, so I'm just gonna go grab that fish and then just pour them in here. And honestly, I am just, it's been a whole long day. Let's grab the fish, shall we? All right. So there you go. There are the 24 fries. And there, they're swimming back into the container. Do you see that? Look. I mean, obviously, girl, look. They're swimming back into it. Look. Go out. There you go. Ooh. Let's see if we can spot them. There you go. You can actually spot them. Look at that. Oh man. This is basically to show you that no matter how hard we try to make things perfect, things are not always gonna go our way, but all we can do is keep pushing and keep trying and keep hoping and having faith that, you know what, I can actually do this, and the results are there. Right? There's the filter, the fry. Oh yeah. So guys, that is all from Namib Aquaticscapes. I will definitely be seeing you guys in the next video. We'll probably have some new updates, or maybe some new purchases. I don't know. I will definitely see you in the next video.